Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Nelly. Today's topic is a very sensitive one, but it has to be discussed anyway. We're going to talk about money. How many of you have found it very difficult to tell your partner about your debts? It is quite a difficult discussion to discuss because maybe you just don't want to feel judged, or maybe there's a reason why you're in debt. I read this article where this woman was married to this guy for about 7 years, even though he had asked this woman in the beginning of the relationship if there are any debts that he needs to know about. Later it became an issue when they got married because they have to settle the debts rather than enjoying their marriage. So many relationships today, they get affected because of fine, but other people don't want to disclose to the next partner because probably they just feel ashamed that they're in debt, or maybe it's just not a very comfortable topic to discuss. Because money is one of the reasons why a divorce would take place. As a couple, you both need to make that decision how much you're going to spend. So many women want to get married, but they're not financially ready. You have to make sure that when you decide that you want to get married, make sure you're financially literate and you understand the potential vulnerability of a joint income if you are going to go that route. You have to have those financial conversations so that you can know that you're marrying a financial responsible person or maybe a spender. Because as a woman, we believe that the man's responsibility is to go out there and work for the family. And my money should remain mine. I'm joking. But obviously, the man has to go out there and work for the family in whatever way you can contribute, unless he tells you that it's okay, I'll provide everything. You can keep your money. You want to marry a man like Adam in Genesis 1 verse 26 when God created man. Because Adam didn't lack anything. He was a hard-working man until the curse took place. That's the kind of man that we have today. Even if you can get a hard-working man like Adam and he's paying all the bills, talk about the finances of the home. Don't just assume that he's going to take care of everything, because you might think that he's okay and yet he's really working hard. So rather, as a wife, you meet him halfway and pay some of the bills. Because sometimes we assume that our spouses are doing well from what you look at from the outside. And when you ask your partner to do something for you and they cannot afford it, you will assume that they don't want to pay for it. And yet they can just not afford. She has a different view because she doesn't know how much you're earning. That's why you have to have that open conversation when it comes to finances. Be open with regards to your salaries as well, so that the other person can get to know how much you earn and they don't end up asking for things that you cannot afford. That is why, as a team, communication is very important. Research shows that 75% of couples don't talk about their finances. That is why when you talk about your finances, it makes your relationship better. Because the choices that you make at the foundation of the relationship will determine what kind of relationship are you going to have with your partner. Because when you marry someone, you become one. And your finances have to be joined. But this is a discussion that as a couple, you both need to make. I cannot say it has to be joined because sometimes some relationships are better when they don't have a joint account. Even though we've got different values when it comes to money, your beliefs about money can lead to those emotional patterns on how you save or spend your money. And this may also contribute when it comes to arguments about money. That is why it has to be addressed. Your partner will think you don't value money. That's why you're spending it anyhow. And you are thinking you can afford it. That is why you have to be transparent with money. The idea of having a joint account is great, especially when you're married. It represents that oneness. But you also have to think about having separate accounts for your personal things that you want to buy. Because this will prevent you from going to the extent of going to buy clothes and having to hide them in grocery bags so that your partner mustn't find out and think it's just food in there and yet it's just clothing. Because a lot of people end up doing that. Maybe their partners are very strict when it comes to the finances. If your partner knows that you're a spender, this is when you find yourself hiding clothes in grocery bags. That is why having personal accounts is also a great idea. Because what happens when that person realizes that you've been buying clothes instead of groceries? You don't think your partner will recognize that you've got a new dress or a new handbag. That is why in most cases, a person that you marry is likely to become different from you. You don't want to marry a spender like you. So while you're having those conversations, maybe an issue has come up, you need to avoid name calling. Things like you're irresponsible, you're so selfish, you're such a miser. Why did I marry you in the first place? You don't want to spend money. All those things may lead to a non-positive conversation. You need to both make a decision as opposed to a one-man's decision just because they earn more. Partnership is required, not control and manipulation. Because when it comes to marriage, you cannot control your things like when you were single. This is different. You're now married. It has to be a joint decision. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video. God bless you.